Hey guys, it's Zeek here today with Rue, my boyfriend. If you've been watching the channel, our channel so far, I've been doing the Rehab With Me series. My background, aside from being a soldier, personal trainer and massage therapist, Rue's actually a GP, lots of much higher level medical knowledge than I have. So we're headed off to Mardi Gras in 2 weeks. So I'm a bit of a fossil when it comes to STI and STD knowledge because, well, one, two dudes was not talked about when I was in high school, and two, it's not really something I've had a lot of information on in the last 20 years, so Rue's going to catch me up on the way the world actually is nowadays in the lead up to Mardi Gras. So I remember getting like vaccines for Hep A, B, is it C? You can't get, which one's the?
You can get Hep A and B vaccinations. Cool. There's no Hep C, but there is cure for Hep C now. Oh wow. So we do test for all of them. Cool. So the most interesting thing since probably the 1800s for you is PrEP for mainly men who have sex with men. Yeah. You have this on-demand dosing that is relatively new and well-tested, that you just take 2 tablets 2 to 24 hours before you have sex, and actually is 99% effective.
So it stops you contracting. It stops
you from contracting HIV, and you don't have to take the daily regimen like everybody else. Okay. So for people that are just going to Mardi Gras or World Pride specific events, but throughout the week they're not having that much sex, you can just take the 2 tablets 2 to 24 hours before I have sex, and then 2 more tablets afterwards, 1 each day. So if you're having sex Saturday, take a Saturday morning, take 1 Sunday, take 1 Monday, and you're done.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a big difference. So that obviously keeps you, well, 99% safe from HIV. Yes. Obviously, infections like Chlamydia, gonorrhea, all that stuff. That's
does not protect against that. Does not protect you against getting pregnant. Downside is people who are IV drug users, trans men, trans women, heterosexual women. There's just not enough study on it, and we have shown that those groups are higher risk anyway. So it's not going to be 99% effective, closer to a range of around 70% effective. Okay. So we don't recommend the stress dosing for them. Continue with the daily dosing.
Okay, cool. And recently there's been stuff like monkeypox and stuff. I don't know much about that. Is that big in the community, or?
It's becoming big in the gay community, mainly because we are close contact with each other with multiple partners, dancing up close to people. It is direct skin-on-skin contact. There's vaccinations against it. I believe people born before the 70s, can't quote me on that, but they've had the smallpox vaccination that covers you. Really? We're not widely recommending vaccination right now unless you're in those high-risk areas, so people in big cities going to circuit parties. There are vaccinations.
Because I did early last year, when I was on the dating sites before we met, I did notice like everyone was putting their vaccination statuses on there, and lots of people had monkeypox vaccination.
I didn't know last year because it took a while for it to come out, and it is a bit hard to get. I know people in the States could get it at their local pharmacies. Some people were using the old smallpox vaccinations to cover, but there is monkeypox specific vaccinations now.
Cool. So that's good. And are there any STI, STDs that are sort of like really picking up, or we're going to be careful in Australia at the moment?
Most common is still chlamydia.
Good old clap.
Yeah. And the downside of it is 90% of people just have no symptoms whatsoever. So for the few 10% that do, it is pain in the pelvis, pain in the testicles, or discharge from the vagina or penis, or pain during sex that you normally don't. Those are signs to go get yourself tested.
So it's not the old weeping willy always.
So we are recommending sexually active people with multiple partners get checked every 3 to 6 months.
And that's just the pee in the cup with the start and end of stream?
For chlamydia and gonorrhea, it's very simple. Just pee into a cup. Or if you have discharge, we just swab it for you. We do recommend HIV, hepatitis, and syphilis, and that is a blood test as well.
Just get the whole screening.
Yeah, every 3 to 6 months if you're getting multiple partners. We do still recommend condoms. That's the easier way of preventing all this.
Yeah. Cool. So So it's the STIs, STDs. Oh, what about like stuff like mental health? Because I mean, when I was a kid, there just wasn't support, and I put myself in a lot of dangerous positions where I could have contracted things like HIV or chlamydia, or I did have chlamydia a couple of times. Lucky it was a couple of pills or an injection in the butt, but because there was so much self-hate back when I was a kid, you'd just get blindsided, rotten drunk. You'd go out to a club, you'd end up doing some dirty stuff, and it's high risk. The world's changing. Kids can now, 2 boys, 2 girls, trans, all that, can date and have a normal sort of childhood and not get to that stage. But there's still probably a lot of guys around our age out there that are still stuck in that cycle. So like mental health wise, are there good support groups? Are there good places to call?
I would say, coming 30, even 20, 10 years, we've come a long way in terms of acceptance, in terms of knowledge, and how to manage. So there is a lot of more support groups. I do say, first line, see your GP if that is a mental health concern.
Because you have that psych background too. You did a few.
I did do psych up here in Gold Coast, actually. But easiest point of contact is your GP, guy you know, guy you trust. You've been going to them since you were probably born, or kids, or whatever. Easiest point of contact. They can set you up with something called the GP Care Plan. That gets you 10 rebated sessions with your psychologist, and that's standard for everyone. Young people, higher risk, so there's extra support called Headspace that your GP or any doctor can recommend you to, or you can call them up and they can try to get referrals for you. They are an adjunct psychology group, and depending on how much support you need, they'll try to get funding for that for you. But they specialize in those young teens, adolescent, high-risk people who just need that extra support, which we are still seeing, unfortunately, is going to be LGBTQ plus people. And good thing about big cities is there are a few other support groups out there.
Things are so much better. Like even like watching shows like Heartstopper, where you're like, oh god, where was that when I was a teenager, sort of thing. But the world's getting so much better. But that mental health side is still very dangerous for our community.
And it's not just the general population, but in terms of GP, our knowledge have been upskilled so much in this area. Because before, a lot of it was don't ask, don't tell, don't bother testing for it. Now we know what the proper regimen, how do we prevent certain diseases, how do we talk to the patients about these diseases.
That's good. I'm really happy the world's changing that direction. So guys, that's sort of, did you have any other major points to cover?
I think we covered a lot.
Awesome, cool. So Pride's coming up, stay safe, get the latest information, chat to your GP,
have fun.
Have a good time. I'm going to continue with my Rehab With Me series. Occasionally we're going to do a bit of a collab like this on important subjects. Ru's got some videos on his TikTok, and we're going to bring them across onto our YouTube channel as well, just medical knowledge stuff. So like and subscribe, follow Ru on TikTok, follow us on, we've got our Instagrams, and we've got our couples Instagram. I'll put those links up as we go, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe. See you.